Welcome to the Strike Zone, your ultimate destination for all things mixed martial arts. I created the Strike Zone to share my extensive experience and passion for mixed martial arts, having competed and practiced in many MMA styles throughout my life. As a referee and an avid fan, the Strike Zone will offer in-depth analysis and content that dives deep into the complexities and beauty of the sport. The Strike Zone will bring you MMA news and footage from the heart of the sport at an angle never before seen. Today, we're diving into a beginner's guide to MMA. Whether you're new to the sport or just looking to brush up on your knowledge, you've come to the right place. Martial arts have a rich history that dates back thousands of years. Originating in ancient civilizations, these practices were developed for self-defense, military training, and spiritual growth. From the disciplined forms of karate and taekwondo in Asia to the grappling techniques of judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu, martial arts have evolved in diverse ways around the world. Over the centuries, these individual disciplines have not only served as means of combat, but also as methods of personal development and cultural expression. Before the UFC, several combat fighting leagues paved the way for what we now know as mixed martial arts. Organizations like Shuto in Japan, Pancrase, and Pride Fighting Championships were among the first to blend different fighting styles in competition. These leagues featured stars like Ken Shamrock and Bas Rutten, who later became some of the first UFC stars. These early competitions highlighted the strengths and weaknesses of different martial arts, leading to a greater understanding of how to effectively combine techniques. On November 12, 1993, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, or UFC, held its first event in Denver, Colorado. UFC 1, the beginning. UFC 1 was a groundbreaking moment in the history of combat sports. The idea was simple: pit fighters from different martial arts backgrounds against each other to determine which style was the most effective in real combat. The event was an instant hit, drawing massive attention for its no-holds-barred approach. Royce Gracie, representing Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, emerged as the star of UFC 1. He fought and defeated 3 opponents in one night: Art Jimerson, Ken Shamrock, and Gerard Gordeau. Gracie's use of submissions demonstrated the effectiveness of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, forever changing the landscape of martial arts. The early UFC events followed a similar format, with fighters competing multiple times in one night to claim victory. At UFC 2, No Way Out, Gracie continued his dominance, winning 4 matches in one night despite suffering injuries. The grueling nature of these tournaments showcased the toughness and versatility of the fighters. UFC 3, The American Dream, saw Gracie withdraw due to injury, but the event still delivered intense action. By UFC 4, Revenge of the Warriors, the format began to evolve, highlighting the need for well-rounded fighters who could strike, grapple, and endure the physical toll of multiple bouts. The original UFC events were notable for their minimal rules, which was a key selling point to highlight the no-holds-barred nature of the competition. Here are the basic rules from the first UFC events. No biting or eye gouging. These were the only explicitly forbidden techniques. No rounds. Fights continued until there was a winner with no timed rounds. No weight classes. Fighters of all sizes competed against each other. No time limits. Initially, there were no time limits. Fights could last until a fighter was knocked out, submitted, or the fighter's corner threw in the towel. Victory conditions. Matches could be won by knockout, submission, or if the opponent's corner threw in the towel. The referee had limited authority to stop a fight. These sparse rules led to matches that varied significantly in length and style, emphasizing the effectiveness of various martial arts disciplines against one another in almost unrestricted combat. As the sport grew, so did the need for more structure. Rules were implemented to ensure fighter safety and fairness. Weight classes were introduced to create a level playing field, ranging from flyweight to heavyweight. Fighters must undergo rigorous training and dieting to make weight for their respective classes, often facing significant physical and mental challenges to hit the scale on fight day. The current rules of UFC fights are governed by the unified rules of mixed martial arts, which have evolved significantly since the early days of the sport to increase safety and fairness. Here are the key aspects of the modern UFC rules. Weight classes. Fighters compete in specific weight classes to ensure fair competition. Rounds. Non-championship bouts consist of 3 5-minute rounds. Championship fights and main events are 5 rounds. Fight gear. Fighters must wear approved shorts, a mouthguard, and MMA gloves. Female fighters also wear tops. Time limits. Each round is 5 minutes in duration with a 1-minute rest period between rounds. Fouls. There are numerous fouls including headbutting, eye gouging, biting, hair pulling, groin attacks, striking to the back of the head and spine, and using abusive language. Engaging in any of these actions can result in points deductions or disqualification. Fight conduct. Fighters must follow the referee's instructions, and only the referee or the assigned doctor can stop the fight. The referee has the authority to pause the fight and deduct points or disqualify a fighter for fouls. Victory conditions. Fights can end by knockout, KO, technical knockout, TKO, submission, decision, disqualification, or no contest. Judging and scoring. Fights that go the distance are decided by a panel of 3 judges. The 10-point must system is used, where the winner of each round receives 10 points, and the loser receives fewer points based on performance. Protective actions. The use of protective cups and mouth guards is mandatory. Fighters must now wear 4-ounce gloves. Medical requirements. Fighters must pass medical exams before competing. At the conclusion of the fight, both fighters receive a mandatory inspection from the doctors and are subject to post-fight medical suspensions. These rules are designed to protect the fighters while maintaining the dynamic and engaging nature of the sport. The UFC's journey to mainstream acceptance wasn't easy. In its early years, the organization faced significant opposition. Many television stations refused to broadcast the events, and numerous states and athletic commissions wouldn't sanction them due to concerns over safety and the sport's perceived brutality. However, through perseverance, rule changes, and relentless promotion, the UFC gradually gained legitimacy. Today, the UFC is a global phenomenon. Major events are now held in sold-out arenas worldwide, and the UFC has become a staple on major sports networks. The sport's appeal lies in its blend of athleticism, strategy, and sheer excitement, captivating fans and inspiring a new generation of fighters. MMA's influence is seen far beyond the octagon. Young people across the globe are embracing the sport, not just as fans, but as practitioners. It's become a way of life, promoting discipline, fitness, and respect. From training gyms in every major city to MMA-inspired fitness programs, the sport's impact is undeniable. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the history and evolution of mixed martial arts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Stay tuned for more exciting content right here on the Strike Zone. Until next time, keep fighting the good fight.